This is the Srebrenica flower. It has 11 petals that represent July 11th, when the worst genocide of Europe since World War II happened in 1995. The white represents innocence, and the green represents hope, with a subtle nod to Islam as well. I remember the Bosnian War growing up as a Muslim in the United States. People would bring photos to the local mosque of the dead and injured to raise awareness of what was going on. And I remember being deeply affected as a child by those images that stayed with me for a very long time. My father was a PhD student at Purdue University and was quite active on campus, participating in protests against the war. So for me personally, being in Srebrenica has been a somber occasion. I've had a chance to visit Srebrenica for the 25th anniversary of the genocide, so come along with me as I share my journey and experiences. So I'm on the plane right now, flying to the Bosnian capital Sarajevo, and flying during the times of the coronavirus pandemic. We have to take all our precautions. I have my mask, and I have my paperwork, coronavirus-related paperwork, including a letter of invitation to enter the country and negative results for my COVID-19 test. So let's hope everything goes well at customs. So I've made it through customs without any problems, and now I'm in beautiful Sarajevo. This is the location at Sarajevo International Airport where many people during the Bosnian War, including civilians, had to dodge bullets and gunfire just to get to safety. In 1993, the Tunnel of Hope was constructed below the airport runway to allow people and provisions to pass in and out of besieged Sarajevo. This is a monument with all the names of the people who were killed during the genocide. As you can see, it wraps all the way around this pavilion. Not as many people could come this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Organizers had initially expected 100,000 people to show up, but there are people who have come to bury their loved ones, family and friends, and people who have just come to show support. Most of the people who are allowed to come this year are residents of Srebrenica and people who got special permission to attend. That includes the youth choir from Zenica, which was the only choir given permission to perform Srebrenica Inferno. And this is the Mothers of Srebrenica group. Each of these women has lost a child to the genocide. Here are some of the religious figures who have come for the funeral services. As you can see behind me are the coffins of the 9 people whose remains were identified over the past year who will be buried during the ceremony today. A total of more than 8,000 Bosniak Muslim men and boys were killed by Serb forces during a span of 2 weeks in Srebrenica. The reason why many people have to wait to bury their loved ones is because of the mass campaign by Serb forces in the wake of the genocide to hide their crimes. They did this by constantly relocating the bodies from one site to another. This caused the separation and mixing of body parts of the people killed. Some families have even had to find closure by burying a single identified finger of a loved one. Hurija Hasanovic has come with her daughter to bury her brother-in-law. Her husband and both of his brothers, along with their father, were killed in the massacre.
Teško je, meni uvijek isto kad dođem ovdje. Suvišne su riječi za nešto ovako. Ponekad razmišljam kakvi su to ljudi koji su mogli da učine tako. Gotovo djeci koja su nedužna, ništa im nisu kriva. Ali eto, bili su muslimani i bili su muški. I zato su im uradili ovo zlo.
Tražili smo 25 godina da nađemo te njegove kosti, da konačno znamo gdje smo ga sahranili. I eto da bi 23. januara ove godine javili isto za identifikaciju centra da je pronađeno kompletno tijelo u Kozlu.
Ne teče od očeve i sestre i sin. Ima već veliki broj bližih rođaka, već ukopan, određen broj se još traži. Oca sam ukopio tu, Amidžu na prvoj dženazi. Od oca nekompletno tijelo, od rođaka koji se danas kopa također nekompletno tijelo.
It is important to know that what happened to us 25 years ago is happening to somebody today on other side of the planet. So it is important to talk about it, to show the people who tried to destroy us that they didn't manage, that they failed, that we are still living, that we will live, and that we will find a reason to smile.